I'm reviewing an AI engineer. They submitted this resume to me with AI, ML, or a data scientist. Data scientist resumes are not going to be the same as an AI engineer resume. So I'm judging this strictly on a AI section, not data scientist. So, because the data scientists, I think, do I have that keyed up? They have very different keywords. So, what we're going to be looking for is anything here: AI, ML, LLM, NLP, Python, R, MATLAB, LangChain, Scikit-learn. I hate IT terms. Cloud, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps, Hadoop, Spark, or Kafka. So, those are what we're going to be looking for. All right, and you actually have a solid ratio. It's 1 to 50. I mean, it's just a rough market. That's why I think, like I've said before, a 1 to 50 ratio in a bad market is like a C minus. It does pass. It's barely. It can be improved, but it is a passing grade, and really that's all that matters. So they've applied on and off with a similar resume, which is what got them the 1 to 50. So, but not enough in this one. So this is actually a newer one that they use based on my formatting. All right, so first things first, if you do use my formatting, okay, so there's a couple of things you missed. The education needs to be up at the top. The education itself, this needs to be bolded, not this. So this is the one time I've seen in like the 60 some odd videos I've done where there's not enough bolding in the resume. You just need to clarify it. So the education should be up top, and then the word education itself should be bolded. And then you should just have like an experience section, and the word experience should be bolded along with your first last name. Everything else doesn't really need to be bolded unless there's a project section. So the one time there's not enough bolding. Directed a team of 5 to develop a light GBN Python model. Python models recommend patients can be discharged to care facility at a facility. Explored PyTorch, good. Neural networks, but chose to cost. Okay. SQL, that's fine. Panda, NumPy, Azure, that's good. So the one thing I'm missing here is this. I want this peppered throughout. This I see here, but if you're applying specifically for an AI, I want the word AI, I want the word ML. I know this stuff is used for it, but you really, really don't want to base the fact that maybe the recruiter doesn't know that. You need to make it scream that it's AI. So ML engineer is good. I want a little bit more AI in here, just literally this section. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You do have SQL, that's good. You do have PyTorch. This is confusing. I think you may want to rewrite this a little bit, but otherwise it's an okay sentence. And model recommendation. Yeah. So I would just say like develop a AI light GBM Python. Also, Python should probably be capitalized. So created an NLP agent, good. Data then graphs, okay. REST API, solid. Server, LLM, yeah. So it's so far good. You're just weirdly enough not enough bolding and not enough AI in the first one, because I don't know if light GBM is going to be a huge keyword, but you know, you should still have it. I just want the word AI. But other than that, this is solid. Yeah, so it's mainly just like a formatting issue. I can definitely see this passing, and I think you're going to get a lot more interviews with this resume, and even with this resume the way it is. And then if you make some more changes to it, you'll get even more interviews. So good job. I like it. And if y'all like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. I don't understand the algorithm, but it is important and it impacts me. So let's move on to the next resume. This is for a retail sales assistant. So the person came in here, is currently on a contract, and by the time this video ends, they might be off of it. They're looking for retail sales. So this is like retail sales assistant can have a bunch of different names. Like it's retail associate, sales associate, customer service rep. So there's a lot of jobs that you can actually apply to with this. They all have a bunch of different names. What we're going to be looking for is basic math skills, maybe POS, which stands for point of sale system. It's basically the cash register. So cash register, like an advanced one. Customer service, customer support, sales, basic computer skills. So Office, Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and that you can work well in a team-oriented environment. So I actually, on my website, I made a template resume for somebody that's going to be a barista. This is very close. This one right here is going to be very close to what you're going to want it to look like. So go to my website. There's a template resume, and then below that is another template resume that is of a barista, which I think is how you want to write it. Also, this is my name, so I'm okay doxing myself with this. So they have applied, their ratio is 1:50, which honestly isn't terrible. It's not good for retail, but I'd say it's not good. But again, this is like a C minus, barely passes, but it passes. So let's see what we can do to help with this. So the first thing that catches my eye is the formatting is off. Never use double columns. I don't think in my life as a recruiter I've ever seen a resume that has used 2 columns that is better than a resume that has used 1 column. Your resume should be this, single column. Single column. Please do single column. So, also, here's a big note. You sent this in as a JPEG. There is a lot of misinformation about ATSs and what can be read in them, but a JPEG might actually not be read by some ATSs. A PDF or Word file, that is what you want. So, don't care. None of this is needed. Okay, good. You can see my mouse. I can't click anything because it's a JPEG. Execute comprehensive customer service duties in a retail footwear environment. What is that? That doesn't look. I'm not gonna. I know you're trying here, but like, you wrote it like a corporate drone. That's not how people talk. Don't write it like that. I know there's like a myth of you need to like corporatize your language, but in resumes you really don't. Support inventory management through regular restocking and display maintenance. Okay, this is the only thing I can actually care about, which is stocking and display. Process transactions accurately while ensuring customer satisfaction. Maintain. Okay, so this is going to have to be redone. And here is how I want you to write these, right? So for a barista, which you would replace the hygiene stuff with, or like food service with like maybe sales or something. So in this resume, this is how I want you to do it. Your first bullet point right here is going to be a summary of your duties. In this case, as a cashier at Large Ducks Coffee, I operated our point of sale POS cash register to collect money from customers, perform basic math to give them proper change, keeping them engaged with customer service while I prepared their food and beverages. This might get you an interview alone, right? Because that hits what you want. Basic math, POS, customer service. It doesn't have basic computer skills, but that's fine. It's not going to have everything. Handled a large lunch rush by providing customer service and multitasking. Multitasking, I should have added. So, to summarize, this is how you're going to write your bullet points. The first one is a summary. Every other bullet point is going to be composed of 3 parts. Part number 1, the what. This is going to be your keyword or qualification. Ideally, a single bullet point is going to contain multiple of them. The second part of a bullet point is the how. How you used that bullet point, how you use that keyword or qualification. And the third is the why. Why did you do it? Why did you do that? So like in this case, it is used a desktop computer to read company emails, take online burst recording, and input shifts into our schedule. Cool. They want that. The why may be missing from that, which I realize I need to redo this then. But it still shows that like what you did. Like you used a desktop. How did you do it to read company emails? And why did you do it? So you could input the stuff into the schedule. Handled a large lunch rush. Cool. By providing customer service. That's how you did it. While making their food, which resulted in a 5-star review. That's why you did it. So I need the how, the what, and the why for every bullet point of other than the first. And that is why none of these work. The formatting's off and the bullet points alone are off. But again, I know you're gonna... This is what I'm here for, so I can teach you how to do it. So, references, you don't necessarily need references on your resume. Typically, you can just give them if they require it. But yeah, this is not going to get you as much. I do say you have the bones of a bullet point here. A couple of these things are pretty solid, like inventory management through regular restocking and display maintenance is a solid keyword. That is a what. And the why is the support. So you're very close, but your formatting is off, and then you need to write it more like this. So if you need to come to the channel, I will help you out with that and basically be like, here's how you write this in your sentences. So let's move on to the next resume. This is a resume of a data engineer. So what we're going to be looking for is ETL, cloud, Python, SQL, data manipulation, data pipeline, data modeling, data warehouse, and then the last one is basically going to be not necessarily stakeholders, but that you've worked with stakeholders and other people in the business and you were able to solve and explain why a problem happened and how to fix it with data. So this person has a 75-to-1 ratio, which is not great. And let's look at what do we have. Okay. This doesn't matter. This can be deleted. Never, please, y'all, please never use double columns. Never, ever, ever, ever. Also, this doesn't help. This can be safely deleted. A proficiency section doesn't help. Your issue is partly formatting, so I do know that. Let's look at the other stuff. Cloud migration and data pipeline development. Migrated an on-premise data warehouse to AWS. Python ETL, which this should be once. Okay, wow. This actually isn't a... I don't know why you have this up here. This can be deleted, but this is actually a solid sentence. I actually really like this sentence. I feel like people may expect me to, but no, this is a good sentence. There's too much bolding, but optimize DML queries in Oracle and Spark jobs, cutting resource. Again, this one wasn't really something I needed. Create and maintain data ingestion. I think that's probably a keyword that I missed. For fraud detection using cloud, that's good. To transform and load data into data lake. Perfect. This is, your bullet points are fantastic. Like if you had a normal, regular, boring, yeah, like literally just if you had a boring and basic format, you would be getting a lot more like interviews. This is hurting you. The bullet points are fine. Data warehouse for fraud, reducing fraudulent transaction, achieving savings. This is understood, very easily explainable. I see you've got cloud. I see you've got Python. Disregard and engineered relational dimensional data models. Data models is one. To the support. Yeah, your bullet points are fantastic. Your everything about this resume, besides the bullet points, is bad. Double column is hurting your chances. This weird bolded thing you do in the beginning is worthless. It does not help. Please remove it. Remove it. Just stop bolding everything. If you just seriously removed this thing right here and this thing right here and whatever you do in the rest of these, Control B and undo the bolding, this is fantastic. Your bullet points are great. Your formatting is holding it back. Use a basic boring formatting. Use the formatting I have, and your interview ratio should be much higher because your bullet points are actually really, really, really good. So, but they're being absolutely held back by this formatting because a recruiter is going to see data engineer and then their eyes are going to bounce here and then their eyes are going to bounce here. Then their eyes are going to bounce here and then their eyes are going to bounce here. And in those things that they're bouncing around with their eyes, they're not going to find what they're looking for, which is right here. It's like you hid the best part of the meal. So this is a pass for me. I mean, this would definitely pass. The reason you've had so much trouble is I don't think they're even going to get to your bullet points, which are fantastic. So let's go to the next resume. This is a quantitative developer. That is a word to say. Their ratio is 100-to-1, which is not good. They are in the UK, which I did see briefly. So I actually searched for quantitative developer positions in London, which I assume is close to where you are. I am bad at geography in the United States where I live, yet alone outside of it. So let's see. We're going to be looking for an unholy amount of keywords. The degree is going to be paramount. Most of them wanted a master's or higher. Some did want bachelor's. They want Python or C++. It seemed to be an even split between Python and C++. And then they're going to want pandas, polars, and numpy. I hate IT terms. Those are ridiculous words. Trading, financial, multi-threading, bash, multi-processing, CI/CD, big data like Kafka, Redis. The words trading and risk, statistics, asset pricing, optimization, and that you can explain complex topics with ease. Based upon the fact that I've not recruited for a quantitative developer, I don't know what they do. You're gonna have to tell me. So, first off, this formatting is off. There is way too much bolding, and it's a nightmare to read. So, especially in a keyword-heavy resume, which this is going to be, you don't want to use too much bolding because it's going to mess up what they're going to try to find. So, none of this should be bolded. None of this should be bolded, and none of this should be bolded. Same. So yeah, please use my formatting. My formatting is easier to read, which, especially in a keyword base like this, is going to be very important. All right, you've got a master's in engineering and electrical and electronic engineering. I'm not going to tell you how important this is because that may be a UK thing, and I don't know. I also don't know what sixth form is, or secondary school. I'm going to hazard a guess that you do not need secondary school if you have these two. That, again, this may be a thing where outside the US that is the norm. At least in the US, it wouldn't be this. I'm not sure what sixth form is either. So truthfully, you may only want to just put your master's, but that may be a locational thing that I'm not aware of. So, optimize SQL. Why did you bold SQL? Shockingly, SQL was not a big keyword that I found. I was looking, and I don't think I've seen a SQL. For analyzing sales and orders, proving actionable insights. Okay, migrated API structure from SOAP to REST. Again, these are not keywords. C# can be, but primarily C++. Implemented unit test was Python. So here's why I have a problem with this. I have to go all the way down here till I find my first real keyword. This is, it can count, but not all of them have. But these are good. These are keywords. Azure DevOps, that's close enough. Python and multi-processing. I didn't put that on there, but that was a part of it. So that's actually very good. So this is why you don't want too much bolding, is they may never get to this right here, and this is also important. I don't think I could move forward with this based on that. And I think that's probably your problem, is people are reading here and they're stopping here when there's no keywords there. And I am missing a lot of this. So I do know it's going to be split between Python and C++. But I'm not seeing any Bash or Kafka or CI/CD. I'm not also seeing anything that involves trading, risk, statistics, asset pricing, or optimization. And if it is in here, I can't find it because you bolded too many darn things. The other thing I would be looking for is explaining complex topics to like stakeholders or customers, basically anybody who doesn't know what you do, because I don't know what a quantitative developer is. You literally have to tell me what that is right now. That should be your opening bullet point under this, even if you're looking for that. So your formatting is very much hurting you, and your bullet points are not bad, but they can be improved. So fix the formatting, which again, that's all on my website. You can find that for free. It's easy to do. Copy paste, that's fine. And then what I want to add in your resume is a summary sentence here, and I want to see anything involving trading, risk, optimization, asset pricings, and I want to see how you explain complex topics. Now, if this was easier to read, I'm pretty sure recruiters would go farther, but even if they do, I don't see anything I'm actually looking for except for one C# and one C++. I don't see how you explain complex topics. I don't see any trading or risks or CI/CD or Kafka or Redis or Bash or multi-threading or multi-processing. You did have a good one. I can't even find it here. Multi-processing. You did have that. Yeah. So that one is good. But here's okay, for everybody listening, this is why bolding is bad. This is a keyword, and recruiters will not see it because you bolded the words beside it. So you're essentially missing, like, not a ton of keywords. You're not missing a ton of keywords, but you're missing a few. But your formatting is really hurting you. So that is what I would change. If you want to resubmit, you can. Also, I did look. There's only like 100 quantitative developer jobs in the UK. So, or at least in the area I searched, which may not be where you are. So you're going to really need to make sure this stands up, like, above all others, by making it easy to read, boring, and with the keywords, and apply very quick and very fast, because the quicker you apply to a job, the better your chances. So let's move on to the next resume. All right, we've got a software engineer intern. So, assuming this is a bachelor's intern, which, yes, it is, good. We are going to be looking for a basic knowledge of tech stack, the ability to work well with others, and that you take direction and criticism. You also wanted to update your portfolio. You can have your portfolio on here. That's fine. So, let me see if you've got this stuff. University of British Columbia. This shouldn't be this many lines. I think you can do this in 2. So keep the GPA because that's very impressive. Keep the awards, but shrink this down to 2 lines. I think 4 lines is a little much. So basically this would be a line, and then these would be a line. Software engineer. All right. If this was an intern, please put intern. It's actually going to look weird. No, you've only been there for a year. If this is an internship, put an internship. Otherwise, that's fine. But it's a little weird that you're going from like a full-time job back to an internship. So, but yeah, let's look at this. Develop software logic correlation and beam forming as part of Canada countries require. A global initiative to award in the top scope. Okay, cool. So I want you to shoehorn in a couple of bits of the tech stack. Like develop software using blah for a large scale, and then everything else can be the same. Achieved 100% increase in hardware utilization by optimizing parallelization FPGA. Okay, overhauled the master's command thread. Multi-threaded is pretty nice. Enhanced client features. Facilitated. Okay, this is a solid sentence. Facilitated the I don't like the word facilitated, but you could just say like helped the onboarding of new team members by providing ongoing support to the team, ensuring that we were working together to solve technical challenges. That's how I'd write that. That's actually pretty solid. Transition from full-time co-op to part-time while continuing academic studies. That's why. That makes sense. So you're going to need a little bit more of the tech stack. I think that's primarily the thing, is you just need a little bit more of a tech stack, but this actually isn't a bad. I'm missing this stuff. I'm missing SQL. If you have any kind of cloud, put it in. REST APIs, put it in. But I'm missing this stuff. Primarily C++, Python, and Kubernetes. I don't like this section. I used to have it on my website. I changed my mind. Don't think it's as good. So, yeah. Refractor, the B2B. You're just missing a couple of keywords. Like, again, this needs to be wrapped up into here. They need to show how you use it. Other than that, I don't think this is bad. The formatting, this is, I think, Jake's resume formatting, which I consider my format superior to this, but it's also not a terrible format. I mean, really, you just need more keywords and a little bit more of how you worked as a team, and I think that'll be solid. So that's good. Also, it says last updated in November 2024, so you may want to remove that. But overall, this would probably pass. Maybe. Again, if you fix those things, I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot more interviews. So, mainly because they may not be able to, they may not read all the way to here. This is why this isn't that great, is they may not read this, or they may miss it. So, because we only have about 15 seconds to find it. So, thank you all for joining me for this video. I'll see you all in the next video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.